Hello everyone, this is Uzma and again I'm going to teach you a new topic in economics. But before starting the topic, in the previous class we have discussed about utility. Utility means satisfaction, and the utility was divided into how many types? It was divided into 4 types. There are 4 types of utility. The first one was form utility, then place utility, and time utility, and the last is service utility. Form, time, place and service utility. And today's topic is wants. This is the same topic which is taken from unit 1, that is Introduction to Economics. The chapter name is Introduction to Economics. The term is wants. In general sense, let us know the meaning of want. For example, imagine that the schools are going to start, and tomorrow or after 2 to 5 days there is a reopening of the school. So what all things you are going to plan before going to a school? You will be planning to buy a new bag, a new dress, the school uniform, the new books, new compass, or a new pouch, the pens, pencils, a new shoes, etc. So what are these list of things which I have said just now? These all are your wants before going to the school. This is the general meaning of wants, right? But in economics there is certain condition for wants. There is certain condition. A desire can be converted into a want if and only if an individual is having some source or means. I said that the desire can be converted into a want if and only if an individual has some source or means. Now you'll be getting a doubt, like what kind of source or means? I'm talking about money. I'm talking about money. And he must be ready to spend that money at a particular thing. A desire can only be converted into a want when an individual is ready to spend some amount on a particular thing. Let me give you an example. Imagine that you are traveling on a bike and you're moving from showrooms to showrooms on your bike, and you're just having glance on a showroom which dress have attracted you, and the dress have attracted you, and the condition is you're not having money. So when you don't have money, can you enter into the shop? You can obviously enter into the shop, but can you buy the dress? No, probably you cannot buy the dress. Why? The reason is you're not having any source, you're not having any means. You don't have any money to buy that particular dress. Are you understanding? The next condition is you're riding on the same bike and you're passing from the same showroom and you like that same dress. And this time you're having money with you. So are you going to visit the shop? Obviously yes, you are going to enter inside the shop, and the first thing is you will be asking the shopkeeper, like, what is the price of this dress? If he's saying the price is so and so amount, and if you feel that the price is high, then are you going to buy the dress? It depends. Few may buy it and few may not buy it. So it was just a desire when you were just moving on the road, but now you have entered inside the shop and your desire want to get converted into a want. So at this time you must be ready to pay any amount to buy that particular thing. That particular thing here is your favorite dress. So your desire to buy this dress can only be converted into a want when you have some source, when you have some money and you are ready to spend it at so and so particular thing. then only I can say that your desire is converted into a want. Is this topic clear? Now you have just understood the meaning of wants. For the wants, I can say the importance of wants is they are the basis for the economic activities. Wants are the basis for economic activities. Now again a question arises like what economic activities means. I can say that buying and selling of commodities or services, buying and selling of any commodity or service by an individual in order to satisfy the basic needs of life. This is the definition. No need to by heart the definition. With the help of an example, we'll understand the same definition. Like in a market, there are two persons. In a market, you'll be finding two persons. Who are those? The first one is a purchaser. The second one is the seller. We have two persons in a market, a purchaser and a seller. Purchaser always wants to buy the commodities. A seller always wants to sell the commodities. So between the purchaser and between the seller, a term is there that is called as want. The purchaser want to buy the commodity. The seller want to sell the commodity. Am I right? In this process of buying and selling, there is also one more word connected to it. For example, when the seller is selling something, imagine that the seller is selling this marker. With one hand he is going to give the marker, with the next hand he is going to take something. That something is what? That something is money. And coming to the buyer. When the buyer is buying this marker, with one hand he is going to take the marker and with the next hand he is giving the money. So here a point is noted that money is also there in between of the purchaser and the seller. So what the purchaser is doing, he is buying the thing. What the seller is doing, he is selling the commodity. Till here you understood buying and selling of commodity and services. The purchaser is buying the commodity, the seller is selling the commodity. So buying and selling of commodity and services. By whom? This activity is done by whom? By the individuals. Why they are buying the commodity? In order to satisfy their basic needs of life. In our daily life, we have some needs. In order to satisfy those needs, we will buy few commodities, we will sell few commodities. So this whole process of buying and selling with respect to money is known as economic activity. Now you can ask a question like, why wants are important? Why wants are important? For example, let us take an example of a vegetable seller. Imagine that there are no customers. The customers are not willing to buy any vegetable. The customer doesn't want to buy any vegetable. Imagine that the seller also doesn't want to sell any of the vegetables. So the purchaser is not buying, the seller is not selling. So can you think that money is coming here? No. So without money, can we survive? Without money, it is not at all possible to survive in this world even for a day. Am I right? So without wants, there will be no economic activities. Without wants, there will be no economic activities. When I say no economic activities, there will be no money in the country. When there is no money, the country is going to become an underdeveloped country or a poor country just because of a simple word called as wants. I can say that wants are the foundation of the whole economy. For example, there is a building of some 10 floors. There is a building of 10 floors and this one is the ground floor. There is a building of 10 floors and the last one is the ground floor. Imagine that if I remove this ground floor from here, then what happens to the 1 to 9 floors? The floors are going to fall down and they are going to collapse. So what is the use of such a big building without the ground floor? So now you can imagine that the ground floor is our wants and the all floors are the economic activities. Without wants, no economic activity is going to run. Without economic activity, there is no money. Without money, a person or an individual cannot survive in this world. So is it true that, can I say that wants are the basis for economic activities? Yes. The next thing is wants depend upon. The wants depend upon the social and economic status of a person. It depends upon social and economic status of an individual. Based on the person's status, the want differs. For example, there are three classes in the economy. That is the rich, the middle class and the poor class. The three classes are rich class, middle class and the poor class. And now you just imagine that there is a summer season, and according to this season, what will be the desire, what will be the want of a rich person to buy an AC, because the temperature is very high and he will prefer an AC because he is having money and he can afford it. Coming to the middle class person, can he afford an AC? In order to satisfy his want, he may not be able to afford an AC. So what he can buy? He can buy an cooler. He can buy a cooler. Now coming to the last section of the society, that is the poor section. This class can neither afford AC nor afford the coolers. So what can he prefer? What can he afford is just fan. Is that clear? So according to the social and the economic status, social status in the sense the rich, middle and the poor class, economic status in the sense how much money they can afford, according to their social as well as their economic status, the want differs. So now is it true to say that wants depend upon the social and economic status of an individual? Yes. So till here, I guess you have understood or you are clear with the concept what are wants. Am I right? Now let us go to the features of wants. What are the features of wants? There are 9 kinds or 9 features of wants. The first one is wants are unlimited. Wants are unlimited. Even if you satisfy one want, it will arise once again and again and again. So this is going to be repeated throughout your life. So I can say that there is no end to human wants. Can I say that there is no end to human wants? Yes, because our wants are unlimited. For example, we buy dresses. We buy dresses for wearing in schools or colleges or at home or while going outside. We have different variety of dresses for every occasion. So, do you think in a year, once if you buy one dress, is it sufficient for all the days of the year? No. Again you are going to repeat your want and you are again going to buy some dress. Because one dress you cannot wear for 1 year. Because it depends upon the durability of the cloth. So wants are unlimited. Even if you satisfy the want of buying the dress, it is going to again repeat, again arise. Is that clear? So what is the meaning of unlimited wants? When a person satisfies the wants once, then it is going to repeat and repeat again. There is no end to human wants. Even if you satisfy one want at a particular time, it again crops up at another time. So this is the meaning of unlimited wants. The second feature is a particular want is satiable. A particular want is satiable. For example, now you just imagine that we are traveling to a far village. We are traveling to a far village which is more far from the city, and you are traveling in a bus, and nearby you won't find any kind of shops, and now you are feeling thirsty, and if you ask your parents that I'm feeling thirsty, can I have a mango juice right now? So do you think that your want of drinking juice will be satisfied at this point of time when you're traveling to a village, that too in a bus with no any shops near to you? So can your want be satiable? No. What your parents are going to answer to this question, that when we are traveling to a journey, in your bag we just have a water bottle. So right now you just quench your thirst with water, and after reaching to the place, then we can satisfy your want. So what is happening here? At a particular point of time, only particular wants can be satiable. So a particular want is satiable at a point of time. This was the second feature of want. What was the first one? Wants are unlimited. Wants are unlimited, and the second is a particular want is satiable. Let us see the third one. Substitution. Wants are substitutive. Now everyone, all the students here are noting down these points in your book, I hope. So when you are noting down, what is the equipment which you are using right now? Maybe a blue pen, am I right? Now imagine that the condition is the ink in your blue pen is completed. The ink in your blue pen is completed. Even after jerking for many times, it is not working. So what is the substitution for your blue pen? You are going to take out a black pen from your pouch. When your blue pen is not working, you are taking out your black pen. So the black pen is a substitution for your blue pen. The black pen is a substitution for your blue pen. Imagine that the black pen's ink is also about to complete, and it is completed. Now what is the next substitution which you are going to use? Which kind of pen are you going to use? A red one? Not at all. Students are not allowed to use the red pen. So the blue is not working, you have took out the black pen. When the black is not working, the last substitution which you are going to use is a pencil. The last substitution which you are going to use a pencil. So what was your want? Your want was to note down all these points in your notebook with the help of a pen. When you didn't have a blue pen, you have used the black pen. So the black pen was a substitute to the blue pen. When black is also not working, you have used a pencil. The pencil is a substitution for the black pen. So in order to satisfy just one want of writing, you require this commodity or that commodity. The meaning of substitution is this or that. You can satisfy your want either by this or either by that. Example, if you are feeling hungry, you can also eat food, you can also eat fruits. Is that clear? The next topic, the next feature of this want is wants are complementary. Wants are complementary. Imagine that there are guests who have arrived to your home, and you need to prepare a cup of coffee for them. You need to prepare a cup of coffee. You need to prepare a cup of coffee. So there is one want, that is you need to make a coffee. Is this a one want, right? Now in order to satisfy the want of making coffee, you require number of commodities. First of all, when you enter into the kitchen, you need a stove which must have a gas, and the next thing which you require is a matchstick or a lighter. This is the second or third commodity. Then again, what you require, you have gas, you have the lighter. Now you need a vessel to make a coffee. After you get a vessel, what would you require? Again, you require water for that. After getting the water, again, what is the next commodity which you require? That is milk. After milk, again there is one more commodity which you require, that is coffee. How many commodities we have gathered till now? The gas stove, gas, lighter or a matchstick, vessel, water, milk, coffee powder. Still anything left? Yes, obviously. You require a cup in which you are going to pour the coffee, and also you need a spoon to stir it. Plus you also need one more thing, that is sugar, right? So just for satisfying one want of drinking a coffee, you have required number of commodities. In order to satisfy one want, you require more than one commodity, which is nothing but wants are complementary. Wants are complementary means in order to satisfy one want, you require more number of commodities. This is the fourth feature. What was the first one? It was wants are unlimited. A particular want is satiable. Wants are substitution. Then wants are complementary. Now the fifth feature of wants is wants differ in competition. Wants differ in competition. Now we have variety of brands of phones. We have variety of brands of phones, the mobile phones. Like we have Nokia and Samsung, Nokia, Samsung, and Vivo you have, Oppo you have, then Motorola, you have Lenovo, and etc. and many more brands are there. So if I ask you to buy Nokia or some kind of landline phone for you, then will you agree to this point? Will you agree to this point that will you tell your parents that I want a Nokia phone for me? Obviously you are not going to select. You are going to select the best one of all these. So your want is just to buy a mobile. But for buying a mobile, you have many competitions. You have many brands in the mobile phones which you can buy. So now, can I say that even in wants there is competition? The first feature was unlimited. Wants are unlimited. A particular want is satiable. Wants are substitution. Then wants are complementary. Then wants are competitive. The next type is wants are recur. Wants are recur. Even after satisfying a particular want, it is going to repeat again and again. For example, when we are feeling hungry, we eat food. When we are feeling hungry, we eat food. Example, in morning you had your breakfast. So you were feeling hungry, you had your breakfast. Just one time you have eaten the food. So are you not going to eat the food the whole day? You are going to obviously eat the food at your second time, that is at your lunch time. So when you are hungry, you are eating food, and this want is repeated again. Already breakfast was done and then you are doing lunch. So till night, are you not going to eat anything? Obviously you are going to have your dinner before going to your bed. So just a want of eating food is repeating again and again. Then imagine our daily life, what all the activities we are doing, they are going to repeat many times. So can I say that wants are recur or wants are recurring. The next thing is wants turn into habits. Wants turn into habits. For example, there are few wants, or I can say that there are particular wants which turn into habits. Not every want turn into habit. Few wants are there which are going to turn into a habit. For example, smoking cigarettes. Smoking cigarettes casually may turn into a habit after doing it again and again. Smoking cigarettes casually are going to turn into a habit and which you cannot give up easily. Example of wants turn into habit is smoking cigarettes may turn into habits. Then the next feature of wants is wants differ in urgency. Wants differ in urgency. Imagine that this is an excursion time in your school and you are going to picnic for so and so particular spot. So while this topic is going on in your class, one thing will be going on in your mind that I need to convince my parents in order to go to picnic. Am I right? At the same time, you are having one more want of buying a mobile for you. Alright, you are having two wants. The first one is you need to convince your parents for picnic, that is excursion. The second want is you have requested already to your parents for a mobile phone. At this point of time, everyone is going to the picnic spot tomorrow, and which is your urgent want now? Your urgent want is to convince your parents for the picnic instead of the mobile. Mobile phone you can buy at a later point of time also, but it is not going to affect you. But at this point of time, convincing your parents for picnic is more important when compared to the buying of mobile. So now we can say that wants differ in urgency. What are the points we have discussed till now? Wants are unlimited. A particular want is satiable. Then wants are substitution. Then wants are complementary. Then wants are having a competition between them. Then wants are recur, and wants turn into habits. Then wants differ in urgency. The last type of wants is wants differ from person to person. Wants differ from person to person, place to place, person to person, place to place, and time to time. Now let us see how wants differ from person to person. For example, at this age you may like to watch cartoons, right, or any animated movie, etc. But the same want may not be of mine. So wants, my want is watching something else, your want is watching something else. My want is eating a chapati, your want may be eating some rice. So wants vary from person to person. Wants differ from person to person. Example, I can say that watching cartoons. Now, wants vary from place to place. Wants vary from place to place. Now, what is the weather of Kashmir? It is obviously very cool. In Kashmir, the weather is very cool. And at Rajasthan, like the desert area, the temperature is very hot. So, we have two options. First is Kashmir and the next is Rajasthan, a desert area. So according to the weather of these two states, the want differs. At Kashmir, you may require a room heater because of the cold weather, and in Rajasthan you require an AC in order to get a cool weather because Rajasthan is a desert area. So the want is differing from place to place, right? The last one is wants differ from time to time. Wants differ from time to time. Let us go in 1990s. Let us go in the period of 1919. There was a trend. There was a trend in those years that the actors of the movies or cinemas used to wear bell-bottom pants. What was the trend? They used to wear bell-bottom pants. This was during 1990s at that time. But do you think the same trend is being followed now this year in the 2020? Not at all. So when the time is changing, the wants also changes. Now we can conclude that wants vary from person to person, place to place and time to time. So there were total 9 kinds of wants which we have discussed. The first one was wants are unlimited. The second one was a particular want is satiable. The third thing was substitution. The fourth one is complementary. The fifth one is competition. Sixth one is urgency. Seventh one is habits. Eighth one is recurring, and the last one is wants vary from person to person, time to time and place to place. At last, let us have a glance on whatever the topic is. Wants differ in the general sense, and what is the condition here? A desire can only be converted into a want when an individual have a particular source or means, which means money. When an individual is having an money and is ready to spend it on a particular thing, then according to economics, we can say that that is a want. Am I right? And why wants are important? Because wants are the basis for all the economic activities. Without wants, there are no economic activities and there is no money. So wants are very, very important. And they also depend upon the social and economic status of a person. We have discussed about 3 classes: rich, middle and poor. Then the next thing is buying and selling of commodities or services by an individual. Why? In order to satisfy their basic needs of life. That is the meaning of the economic activities. Then what we have discussed, the various features of wants. Wants are unlimited, that means there is no end to the human wants. Wants, a particular want is satiable, means at a time you can satisfy only one want. I have given you the example that a person is feeling thirsty. A person is feeling thirsty. Then we have discussed about substitution. When your blue pen is not working, you have choose the black. When black is not working, you have choose the pencil. So except blue, the remaining things which you have used like black pen and pencil were the substitution in order to satisfy your want of writing. Then wants are complementary. In order to make just 1 cup of coffee, you have required number of commodities. So we can say that in order to satisfy one want, we require more than one commodity. Then the next thing is wants are complementary. Okay, there is a competition between the wants. Then wants are recur. When a person is feeling hungry, he is going to eat the food, and this want is going to repeat daily and weekly, daily, monthly, yearly, and it is going to repeat again and again till the time you are surviving in this earth. So wants are recurring. Then few wants turn into habits, like smoking cigarettes may turn into a habit. Okay. Then urgency. Wants differ in urgency. Which is the most important want, which is the most priority want or the urgent want you are going to satisfy that want first, and the less important wants at a later time. Then the next thing is wants vary from person to person, place to place, and time to time. So this is all about wants, which is a very important question which is going to be asked in your board of intermediate for 5 marks. Alright, I hope that the concept was clear enough, and make sure you note down each and every point, each and every example in your notebooks, and keep on practicing. So see you in your next class, and again stay safe and keep practicing. Thank you.